Most football fans can name the positions. Almost none of them truly understand what each one actually does. And that gap between knowing the names and understanding the roles is exactly why so many people watch a full 90 minutes and still can't explain what they just saw. Because here's the thing, football looks like 11 players running around a pitch. But what's actually happening is 11 very different jobs, each with its own logic, its own responsibility, its own way of shaping a game. Once you understand those jobs, you don't just watch football differently. You see it completely. The passes start to make sense, the movement makes sense, even the mistakes make sense. So from goalkeeper to striker, let's break down every position, what it really demands and why it matters. We start at the back with the most obviously different player on the pitch, the goalkeeper. The kit is a different color, the rules are different, and the entire psychological weight of the position is different. Every other player can make a mistake and recover. A goalkeeper's mistake often ends up in the net. Their primary job is to stop the opposition from scoring through saves, blocks, catching, or punching crosses and commanding the penalty area. But modern goalkeeping demands far more than that. There are three distinct types. Traditional goalkeepers stay close to their line and focus on shot stopping, safe, reliable, not taking risks. Sweeper keepers operate almost like an 11th outfield player, rushing off their line to clear danger behind a high defensive line. And ball-playing goalkeepers act as the first link in building attacks, picking out teammates with precision under pressure. Formations. Before we go further, we need to talk about formations because they determine what every player's job actually looks like in practice. A formation is just a way of describing how a team organizes its 11 players. A 4-4-2 means 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, 2 forwards. A 4-3-3 means 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, 3 forwards. These numbers are always read from defense to attack, with the goalkeeper assumed. The formation you see on a diagram is the starting shape, but football is fluid. Players move, positions shift, roles evolve within a single game. The formation is the blueprint. Understanding what each position is supposed to do is how you read what's actually happening. Defenders, center backs. The center backs are the last line of defense before the goalkeeper, and their job is essentially to stop everything, blocking shots, winning headers, reading passes before they arrive, tracking strikers, winning physical duels. A center back who switches off for 1 second can concede a goal, which means the best ones are relentless, focused for 90+ minutes in a way most positions don't require. What people don't realize watching from the stands or a screen is how much the center back organizes everyone in front of them. The best ones are basically managing the defensive shape in real time. Fullbacks and wingbacks. On either side of the center backs sit the fullbacks, a left back and a right back, and their role might be the most transformed position in modern football. Traditionally, their job was defensive and relatively simple. Protect the wide areas, stop crosses, cover when center backs push out. That still applies, but the modern game has expanded the fullback's responsibility enormously. Overlapping fullbacks like Alphonso Davies attack up the flank at pace, getting beyond the wingers ahead of them to deliver crosses and create numerical advantages. They're essentially wide midfielders when the team has the ball and defenders when they don't. The fitness this demands is extraordinary. Inverted fullbacks, like Trent Alexander-Arnold, do something different and subtler. Rather than overlapping wide, they tuck infield into central positions, essentially becoming an extra midfielder when the team is in possession. This frees up space for the winger to run into and creates overloads in the middle of the pitch that are very difficult for opposition teams to manage. Then there are wingbacks, a position that blurs the line between defender and midfielder entirely. Used in formations with 3 center backs, wingbacks start higher up the pitch and are expected to provide genuine attacking threat. But when the team defends, they drop in alongside the 3 center backs to form a back 5. The position requires enormous stamina and tactical intelligence. Midfield. If defenders protect and attackers score, midfielders connect everything. They are the engine, the brain, and often the most important players on the pitch, even when they're not the ones making the highlights. Defensive midfielders. The defensive midfielder sits in front of the back line and acts as a shield. Their primary function is breaking up opposition attacks, winning the ball back, intercepting passes, covering for teammates who've pushed forward. There are 2 distinct flavors. Ball-winning midfielders like N'Golo Kanté at his peak are defined by relentless energy and the ability to win possession anywhere on the pitch. Deep-lying playmakers, often called the number 6, do something more cerebral. Players like Rodri for Spain and Manchester City sit deep, receive the ball under pressure, and dictate the tempo of the entire game with their passing range and positional intelligence. They're not just stopping attacks, they're starting them. The best deep-lying playmakers can slow a game down or accelerate it at will, which gives their team total control. Box-to-box midfielders. The box-to-box midfielder might be the most demanding position in football. As the name says, they operate from one penalty area to the other, defending when the team defends, attacking when the team attacks, covering huge distances at pace for 90 minutes. Players like Declan Rice and Fede Valverde define this role: physically exceptional, technically reliable, almost inexhaustible. They don't get the headlines strikers do, but coaches and managers know without a true box-to-box midfielder, the entire team structure breaks down. Attacking midfielders, number 10s. The attacking midfielder, the number 10, is the position most associated with creative genius in football. They play in the space between the opposition's midfield and defense, and their job is to unlock that space, finding passes that others can't see, arriving late into the penalty area, and scoring goals. Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne, James Maddison, these are players who make the final third work. They need exceptional vision, technique under pressure, and the ability to score. The number 10 is often the most technically gifted player on the pitch, and when they're in form, they can make a team look unstoppable. Wide players, wingers and inside forwards. Wingers have existed in football since the beginning. Wide players who hug the touchline, beat their fullback, and deliver crosses into the box. Direct, fast, dangerous in wide areas. But in the modern game, the traditional winger has largely been replaced by something more complex: the inside forward. Inside forwards start wide, but their instinct is to cut infield. A right-footed player on the left wing will drift inside onto their stronger foot, creating shooting opportunities and cutting passing lanes that a traditional winger wouldn't. The effect is profound. Instead of delivering crosses from the byline, inside forwards are directly threatening goal. They force defenders into impossible choices, and they create space for overlapping fullbacks behind them. Knowing whether a winger stays wide or cuts inside tells you almost everything about what a team's attacking structure actually is. And finally, the strikers, also called center forwards, number 9s, or simply forwards. Their job is the most elemental in football: score goals, win the game. But how different strikers do that varies more than almost any other position. Target men are the traditional center forward, physically dominant, strong in the air, able to hold the ball up with their back to goal while teammates arrive around them. They draw defenders, create space, and often score from crosses and set pieces. Think Olivier Giroud, Peter Crouch, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Pace strikers are built differently, quicker and sharper, designed to run in behind a high defensive line. They need timing, intelligence, and the ability to stay onside. Their threat alone forces defenders to sit deeper, which opens up space for the rest of the team. Complete strikers, like Erling Haaland, can do both. Hold up play and run in behind. Win headers and finish one-on-ones. These players are extraordinarily rare, which is why they're extraordinarily valuable. And then there's the false 9, one of football's most fascinating tactical inventions. A false 9 nominally plays as the striker but regularly drops deep into midfield during build-up play. The effect is twofold. It creates additional passing options in the middle of the pitch, and it drags center backs out of position, creating space for wide players and second strikers to run into. Lionel Messi played the false 9 under Pep Guardiola at Barcelona to devastating effect. The idea sounds simple. In practice, it bends opposition defensive structures into shapes they're not built to handle. So, from goalkeeper to striker, 11 positions, each with its own logic, its own demands, its own way of influencing a game. Most people watch football and see the result. They see who scored, who missed, who had a good game or a bad one, but now you'll see the structure underneath all of that. And once you start seeing the game at this level, you genuinely cannot go back to watching it any other way. If you found this useful, share it with someone who watches football but always asks you what's going on.